What's going on, everybody? Welcome to today's video, reacting to 5 simple tricks to make your bassline sound pro by Basscamp. So what's going on, everybody? Today we're going to be reacting to 5 simple tricks to make your bassline sound pro by Basscamp. So for those of you that know already, this is Basscamp. This is Charles Berthoud's second channel where he does a lot more of his instructional sort of stuff. He is an absolute monster bass player. If you have not already subscribed to Basscamp, go and give them a sub right now. I included the link for the original video in the description of the video below. Go ahead and click on that and give the original video a like. And don't forget to, on this video, my video, leave a comment on what you'd like to see me react to next. And let's get to it.
5 tricks that will make your bassline sound pro. And the best part is that these tricks are very simple and easy to perform, I promise. I'm going to show you how to write a bassline that uses all of these tricks, and if you stick with me for the next 10 minutes, I think you're going to be amazed at how much tighter and groovier your basslines will sound. So without further ado, let's get into it. The first trick is simple enough, but you'd be surprised at how many bassists I see who forget this golden rule of bass playing.
Yeah, that is like an old given. Lock in with that drummer. Stay on top of that kick like a fat kid on cake. Just depending on the groove, if it's just like a laid back, kind of slow and groovy kind of thing, make sure that you are right there with him on that kick drum at all times. Yes, yes, yes.
Lock in with the kick. So let's say you've got a groove like this. The very first thing that I would do is just listen and really internalize the kick drum rhythm, and then play the root notes of the chord progression using the exact rhythm that the kick drum plays.
Now that should definitely be where the bass line starts. That doesn't have to be where you leave it. If you want to do a little more, you can do that. But definitely make sure you're hitting all of those kick drum hits and throwing your little fills here and there. What he's demonstrating is just solidly here. Here's what we want to do at the bare minimum with this type of a bass line, and just locking right in with that kick drum.
Familiarizing yourself with the kick drum and just playing like that a few times lays a really strong foundation for you to build your final bass line on top. Ironically, the second trick is almost the exact opposite of the first. It actually sounds really nice to leave space for the snare because it allows the backbeat to be emphasized even more strongly. I'm going to play our bass line twice now, but the first time I'm going to leave space for the snare, and the second time I'm just going to let my notes ring out while the snare plays.
Space is far better.
Leaving space for the snare works really well in most pop and rock songs, but every now and then there are situations where it doesn't really make sense. Like if you're playing metal blast beats and there's a snare hit on every 8th note, leaving space for every snare hit would basically mean that you're playing nothing. So as with every rule, there are exceptions to this one, and you've got to listen and decide for yourself whether the changes you're making are improving the groove or not. Alright, this is the one that's going to get you gigs. One of the things that really separates pro bassists from the rest.
Yes, when the melody's happening, when the big chorus is happening, if there's a huge melody line happening from a horn part, or a keyboard part, or a guitar solo melodic part. Bass players, shut up. Sit back. Do the grooving thing. Just sit back and groove. There's a time for a bass player to shine, and that's maybe 2% of the time, if you're lucky. Let's be honest about it. It depends on what kind of band you're in. If you're in a jazz fusion band, or if you're Charles, that's far different. But let's face it, what most of us are going to be doing is not going to be what Charles is doing. That's just a cold fact of being a bass player. Now, hey, that's not to say that we can't solo and rock the hell out. I love to play bass solos. I love bass players that play solos, and I've been known to play a bass solo or two myself from time to time. But he's absolutely right. This is where the money is going to come from. There's an old joke. All the money on a bass is from the 7th fret down. It's a joke, but it's got its roots in truth.
Is knowing when to play. As much as we all love bass, if you're a typical sideman or studio musician, 99% of the songs we're going to be playing a supportive role and making the lead instrument or vocalist sound as great as possible. So one of the absolute biggest mistakes that you can make is just playing all of your favorite crazy jazz licks that don't really support the singer and just confuse the listener. But most melodies have rests, and that's where it's okay and often even encouraged to play something a bit more complex. So now I'm going to play our bass line again, but I'm going to add some activity when there's a rest in the guitar melody, and then I'm going to play less while the guitar is playing.
Yeah, melody going.
Doing this creates a nice conversation between the instruments rather than having competing lines happening at the same time. Alright, this trick is more of an icing on the cake, but band leaders will absolutely love it if you play one of their more interesting melodic parts on your bass at the same time. Not only does it sound cool and make everything sound a bit more cohesive, but it really shows the melody player that you're listening very closely to them and you respect what they're doing. Have a listen to the bass line now. I'm going to add one small moment where I double what the guitarist is playing.
Subtle, but works.
Now we're getting into some really pro stuff. If you can think about your bass lines with this much care and detail, you're really going to stand out from the pack. One of the amazing things about bass is the absolutely massive range of techniques that we have available to us. And the great thing is, all of these techniques give us the ability to convey totally different moods and energy levels. Most songs have at least a couple of different energy levels, and it can sound really great to emphasize those with a change of technique. I'm going to demonstrate an example now where halfway through you're going to hear the drums get a little bit louder and the guitarists go into a bit of a higher register, which are both indicators that the energy level is increasing. Listen to what happens when I change the technique that I'm using at that moment.
Yeah, like in situations like I don't know where this song is going to go, or a certain area where it would like go into more like of a double time feel, then you could like, you know, maybe do some pedaling 8th notes or something like that, but you'd have to do something that would match the energy of where the rest of the song is going, to match that energy without just completely doubling the guitar player or the drums, you know, doing some level of syncopation on it or something like that. Or slap. That works too. Add a little more flavor.
So as you heard, switching to slap there really helped to take the energy up a level, which made the guitar melody sound even more dramatic. If you want to really get these tricks ingrained deep into your playing, you can get the full tabs, backing track, and worksheet over at the Basscamp Patreon, as well as instant access to a huge back catalog of lessons for all levels of experience. I'm also really happy to announce that Basscamp officially has merch now. We've got t-shirts just like this one, but also hoodies, mugs, and hats in a wide range of colors. So if you want to let everyone know that you play the coolest instrument in the world, just click the link in the description to find out what we have. That was the last trick for today. Just to recap, the 5 tricks that we learned today were lock in with the kick, leave space for the snare, play less during the melody, double 1 or 2 melodic moments, and use technique and articulation to match the mood and energy level of the song. You might have noticed a common theme with all of these is that you have to be listening very carefully, and that's probably the overall number one rule of being a musician. You've got to listen to what everyone else in the band is doing, so they're always playing the thing that's going to elevate the music as much as possible. Thank you guys so much for coming here and practicing with me. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next lesson.
All right, that was reacting to 5 simple tricks to make your bassline sound pro by Basscamp. As always, if you've not already subscribed to Basscamp, please go now and give them a sub. I've put the link to the original video in the description of my video here below. Go and click on that and give the original video a like. And on this video, my video, leave a comment on what you'd like to see me react to next. Thanks for checking out this video. If you like what you saw, please subscribe, click the notification bell, like, comment, and share. It doesn't cost a thing and would really help out the channel. Also, please subscribe to my other channel, GK Mac Music, for some live looping live streams with a side of jackassery, some original music, and some short content, also with a side of jackassery. If you'd like to help out the channel financially, you can buy some merch at the merch store, or you can become a channel member. As always, everyone, thanks so much for your continued support. Do what makes you happy.